Have you ever wished something important in your life would happen faster? A dream, a goal, a change you're waiting for? What if the slow progress you feel frustrated by is actually building something stronger than you realize? This is the story of the bridge built slowly. There was once a small village divided by a wide, restless river. On one side lived farmers, teachers, and families. On the other side were markets, doctors, and opportunities. The river wasn't dangerous, but it was deep enough to keep people apart. Every morning, villagers stood at the river's edge, staring across, wishing for an easier way. Someone should build a bridge, they said, but no one knew how. No one wanted to wait. The distance felt permanent, a fact of life they just had to accept. Year after year, the two sides of the village remained separate, connected only by inconvenient boat trips or long winding paths around the water. The wish for a bridge became a local saying, something people said without any real hope it would ever come true. One day, a young builder named Eli stepped forward. "I will build the bridge," he said, his voice quiet but steady. The villagers looked at him and laughed. "You're too young," one said. "You don't have enough tools," another scoffed. "Shh, it will take years," a third declared, shaking his head. Eli listened to their doubts, his expression calm. "Yes," he said, "but I will start today." And so, while others continued to just wish, or took the long way around, or simply turned back, Eli picked up his tools. He waded into the shallows and carefully, deliberately, placed the very first stone. It was a small, seemingly insignificant act, but it was a beginning. The laughter faded into whispers as Eli got to work, ignoring the skepticism that surrounded him. Each day, Eli returned to the river. One stone, one beam, one careful measurement at a time. The progress was almost invisible. If you only looked for a single day, you would barely notice a difference. Weeks passed, then months. People shook their heads as they walked by, their initial skepticism turning into pity. "That bridge isn't going anywhere," they said. "He's wasting his time on a fool's dream." But Eli kept building. He wasn't trying to be fast. He wasn't aiming for perfection on the first try. He was just being consistent. Every sunrise found him at the riverbank, and every sunset left the foundation a little bit longer, a little bit stronger. He learned the river's currents, the sturdiest spots on its bed, and the best wood to use. His work was a quiet daily promise. One evening, as twilight painted the sky, Eli sat by the river, exhausted. He looked at his work. The bridge barely reached halfway across the churning water. The other side still seemed so far away. The river still roared, a constant reminder of the challenge he faced. The distance still felt huge. A wave of doubt washed over him. "What if they're right?" he whispered to the flowing water. "What if this is taking too long? What if I'm not strong enough to finish it?" But then he turned and looked behind him. He saw the path of stones already placed, solid and unmoving. He saw the wooden beams holding firm against the current. He saw a foundation that didn't exist before he started. And in that moment, he realized something important. Slow progress is still progress. Every single stone he'd laid was a victory. As more time passed, something started to change in the village. It wasn't sudden, but it was undeniable. Children, drawn by curiosity, began stopping to watch Eli work. They saw his patience and his focus. Then, farmers, seeing his need for strong timber, started offering him spare wood from their clearings. He didn't criticize. Instead, he shared a lifetime of advice on how to join the beams for maximum strength. The bridge was no longer just Eli's work. It slowly transformed into a shared effort, a community project. The villagers started believing not because the bridge was suddenly finished, but because it was still growing, still moving forward, day after steady day. The sound of Eli's hammer became a sound of hope. Then came a quiet, misty morning. The air was still. Eli, now older and with hands weathered by his long labor, carried the final stone to the center of the structure. With a deep breath, he carefully placed it into its spot. It fit perfectly. The bridge stood complete, strong, steady, and wide enough for 2 carts to pass. It was a testament to years of quiet, consistent effort. Soon, the bridge filled with footsteps, with laughter, and with the vibrant sounds of life. What once divided the village now connected it. And the bridge didn't just cross the river, it changed everything. Friends reunited, trade flourished, and the village became whole. The villagers finally understood the profound lesson that had been built right before their eyes. If he had given up when he felt discouraged, the gap would have remained forever. The bridge was strong precisely because it was built slowly. Every single stone mattered. Every day of consistent work counted. It's their own patience, which grew alongside the bridge, had turned one young man's seemingly impossible effort into something truly lasting, something that would serve generations to come. Maybe you're building something right now in your own life, a skill, a business, a relationship, a better version of yourself. It may feel slow. At times, the progress may feel almost invisible, and you might wonder if you'll ever reach the other side. But remember the story of Eli and his bridge. Strong bridges are not built in a day. They're built one steady choice, one consistent effort, one single stone at a time. Trust the process. Your progress is real, even when you can't see it. Keep building. Thanks for watching, and if this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more inspiration.